I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world?
On July 14th, BTS's world was suddenly rocked by Taehyung's unexpected live broadcast on Instagram. At first, it seemed like a casual moment. His calm face appeared on screen, without a word, just his signature captivating expression and aura. But in an instant, the atmosphere changed drastically. RM appeared on the broadcast, followed by an unknown account, leaving fans wondering, could it be, that's Jungkook? Fans' suspicions were confirmed. The mysterious account belonged to Jungkook, who had made a surprise return to Instagram after deleting his account in 2023. The Magnae's return shook ARMY, especially when Taehyung simply smiled calmly, as if he had planned everything from the beginning. Without much explanation, he simply let the atmosphere flow, prompting wild reactions from fans in the comments section. The atmosphere of the broadcast intensified when RM joined in, forming an unexpected formation of 3 BTS members. Taehyung, as the initiator of the broadcast, seemed to lead the entire thing with his trademark calm. One look, one smile, was enough to send millions of fans into raptures. He didn't say much, but his expressions and gestures were enough to set the tone. When Instagram couldn't contain ARMY's enthusiasm, the crowd shifted to Weverse. There, the madness continued. Taehyung and Jungkook appeared in 2 different rooms, chatting casually as if the world wasn't abuzz with them. But as usual, with Taehyung, anything could happen. And sure enough, RM suddenly entered Jungkook's room, and the two laughed like 2 best friends causing mischief. Meanwhile, Taehyung disappeared from the screen, leaving everyone wondering where he'd gone. But the tension turned to hysteria when Jimin suddenly appeared in Taehyung's room. And unexpectedly, V announced that he was going to take a shower, in the middle of the live broadcast. ARMY immediately reacted with emotion, unable to believe that such a moment was actually happening. As if that wasn't surprising enough, instead of returning to his room, Taehyung reappeared in Jungkook's room, grinning broadly as if he'd just pulled off the best prank of the century. Jimin, who was still in the previous room, looked confused and ended up trying on Taehyung's clothes. This unique, laughter-filled chaos is only possible in the world of BTS. Shortly afterward, J-Hope joined the fun over the phone, flashing a warm smile, albeit briefly. He was at the airport at the time, but his positive energy added to the atmosphere. ARMYs could barely breathe as the series of spontaneous moments exploded one after another. This wasn't just a live broadcast, it was a meaningful, informal reunion. The broadcast was unscripted, without a clear structure, but that's precisely what made it so memorable. The presence of all the members, the natural interactions, the unbridled laughter and impromptu jokes, all created a genuine and joyful atmosphere. And amidst it all, Taehyung stood as the center of gravity, orchestrating everything with his characteristic calm. After the broadcast ended, the internet exploded. X, formerly Twitter, was filled with tweets, memes, and screenshots of the broadcast's most memorable moments. Some called it the peak of BTS's chaos, while others suggested that Taehyung was like a digital simulation designed to make ARMY lose their minds. But one thing was for sure, everyone enjoyed it. The footage of Taehyung smiling before Jungkook appeared, his casual gesture when he said, "I'm going to take a shower," or his appearance in Jungkook's room, all went viral and were talked about thousands of times. ARMY replayed the videos over and over, re-examining every little detail they might have missed. It all felt magical, funny, and warm all at the same time. More than just spontaneous entertainment, these moments conveyed something deeper. They were a reminder that the chemistry between the BTS members was still incredibly strong. They weren't just returning as colleagues, but as brothers enjoying each other's company. This moment offered a glimmer of hope that after the long hiatus due to military service, their togetherness was still intact and alive. Fans called this broadcast the impromptu reunion they hadn't realized they'd missed so much. Taehyung didn't just perform, he was the driving force behind the moment. With his easygoing energy, he delivered surprise after surprise without seeming to try hard. It was precisely in the unexpected that his charm was most palpable. V's presence was a key element in the overall dynamic of the broadcast. When everyone laughed, he smiled along. When everyone was confused, he remained silent with a meaningful expression. He didn't say much, but it was clear that he was thoroughly enjoying the chaos. This is the side of Taehyung that makes him so lovable, mysterious, warm, and unpredictable. Fans from around the world immediately created various forms of appreciation, cinematic edited videos, artistic illustrations, and even poems describing V's profound presence. Many compared him to an anime or movie character, a figure capable of controlling the atmosphere with just one simple gesture. This broadcast also marked the beginning of a new spirit that BTS is building towards 2026. They are now reportedly preparing a full-length album and a world tour, which would be their major comeback after a long hiatus. Although they haven't officially kicked off yet, what happened that night was enough to illustrate just how powerful their energy is. Taehyung, with all his composure, managed to steal the show and control the atmosphere without seeming to try. He doesn't need a grand stage or special lighting. Just one camera and the company of the other members, that's enough to create magic. Moments like these are a reminder of his influence and uniqueness. Returning to the broadcast, it's undeniable that the dynamic between the BTS members is something fans will sorely miss. In their genuine laughter and banter, we see how their bond never fades. They're like a family who always knows how to make each other happy, and the fans feel it too. Most ARMY said they felt like they were among them, witnessing the laughter, antics, and warm camaraderie. Many also felt that the moment was a form of emotional healing, having long awaited BTS's reunion. And all of this was made possible by Taehyung's courage to spontaneously initiate the broadcast. This entire event demonstrated that BTS hasn't lost their touch. Even without a big agenda, they were able to deliver memorable and joyful moments. And Taehyung, as always, was at the center of it all, a driving force, a rhythmic keeper, and a source of calm yet thunderous energy. After the storm of the live broadcast subsided, the internet was still reeling. Fan reactions continued to pour in hours after the broadcast ended. Discussion forums were flooded with opinions, short clips were replayed across various platforms, and various media outlets began highlighting how, in just one night, BTS, especially Taehyung, transformed the internet into a global hub of euphoria. This wasn't just an entertainment broadcast, it was a testament to the powerful magnetism of a simple interaction born of honesty. Many observers noted that this moment felt more meaningful than any promotional release. There were no stage costumes, no elaborate choreography, not even a script. Just cherished faces, genuine camaraderie, and spontaneous antics that made fans feel deeply connected. This broadcast proved that BTS's bond with their fans wasn't just that of idol and audience, but a deeply rooted emotional connection. For Taehyung in particular, this moment reaffirmed his image as the group's natural mood setter. He didn't have to talk much or be flashy. With just a calm expression and playful, impromptu decisions, he could direct the atmosphere in a magnetic way. Even when he was only on the show for a few seconds, his presence was palpable. He knew when to be quiet, when to burst out laughing, and when to drive fans crazy with just a glance. Some fans even called Taehyung the gentle mastermind of the night's madness. He was like the unofficial leader of a moment that unfolded so unplanned yet so perfectly. Jungkook's sudden return, RM's endless laughter, Jimin's lost attempt at clothes, all of it was like puzzle pieces randomly assembled but forming a beautiful whole. And behind it all, V's presence was the common thread. What made things even more touching was the fact that the broadcast took place shortly after the members began returning from military service. Most fans felt that the night signaled the beginning of a new phase for BTS. Even without an official announcement, ARMY knew, this wasn't just a digital reunion. It was the beginning of something bigger. And if BTS were indeed preparing a comeback for 2026, then this broadcast was the most honest signal yet that they were ready to reunite the world. Many fans admitted to crying after the broadcast ended, not out of sadness, but out of gratitude. For years, they had persevered with hope and loyalty. They waited, believed, and continued to love even as the members led quieter lives. And now, with that one live broadcast filled with laughter and chaos, they received confirmation that all that waiting was worth it. Taehyung's role in all of this cannot be underestimated. He serves as a reminder of how powerful silence and sincerity can be. In an increasingly fast-paced and noisy entertainment world, V is a figure who encourages us to slow down, look deeper, and laugh for no reason. He's like a summer rain, unexpected, fleeting, but lasting.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it